Tamara, our hair and makeup partner, the Beauty Quest Colombo, our nail partner, Anthia. On this week's episode, we have a talented upcoming designer, Suhini Dissanayake. Stay tuned to Hi Online. Hi, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Alright, so tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Suhini Dissanayake. I'm the owner of the label Venento. I'm 26 years old and I got into fashion in 2018. I'm a fashion design and textile graduate from the Academy of Design, affiliated with Northumbria University. I also happen to be a sociology and psychology graduate from the University of Melbourne, Australia. I grew up in my younger days in Abu Dhabi, and thereafter I moved to Sri Lanka, and I'm a proud past pupil of Ladies College as well. Yeah, so that pretty much sums up who I am.
Alright, so tell us about your brand.
So my brand Venento is a contemporary luxury women's wear label. It is a brand that carries the message that beauty lies within simplicity. The brand aesthetic is a very minimal, sophisticated aesthetic with understated subtlety. My designs are very feminine silhouettes, keeping in mind a touch of Italian fashion. And basically my brand embodies fabric manipulation and creating different kinds of textures using the fabric in itself. So even going forward in the future collections, I want to keep using the fabric and creating something beautiful as it is in itself. Yeah.
So when did your journey begin? When did you realize that you want to become a designer?
So my design journey began in 2018 after I just moved back from Australia. As I mentioned, I did a psychology and sociology degree and I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my career. So I started interning in human resources actually at Brandix. And at the meantime, I was one of those kids basically who never knew what I really wanted to do. So I was still trying to figure it out, and it was actually my spiritual journey that led me to start exploring fashion as an area that I felt I was kind of meant to do. And I just decided while interning at Brandix, why don't I just try this part-time fashion design course? And I found that I actually really loved it. And finally, I felt that I had gotten into a path that really connected with me, that was really meant for me. And basically, I continued studying. I continued getting into a full-time degree and studying fashion. And it all actually made sense because then when I traced back, I realized that from a young age, I was always into style. I was into dressing my mom and my sister up, designing little sketches for them, and always into styling and so on. So it all made sense, and I realized that I finally actually found the path that I was meant to do after being someone who was always confused about what I wanted to do. So yeah.
Okay, so what is your biggest motivation to go forward?
I would say my biggest motivation to go forward is basically reaching my full potential as a designer. I think there's still a lot that I have to offer and a lot of creativity within me that I still need to express and put out, and I want to see myself reach my best. I also want to create a brand that is international, that I myself can be proud of, my loved ones can be proud of, and also to make my nation proud with my brand as well.
What are you doing these days? Any new designs coming out?
Yeah, so I'm actually currently working for two brands, Lewis London and King & Lewis. Through working for those brands, I'm actually gaining the experience that I need to understand the back end of running a business, especially how to run an international brand that's locally based. So that has been an awesome experience, and at the same time, yes, I am actually working on my research to drop my next collection for Venento, and hopefully at a bigger scale within the next few months.
So if you could be one international designer, who would it be and why?
So for that, I would have to pick Valentino Garavani, mainly because, as you know, through my brand aesthetic itself, I'm very drawn to Italian craftsmanship. So I pick him as a designer that I would like to be. His pieces are timeless and they go from generation to generation. They can be passed down. And also I love the way he has built his brand into expanding into different avenues. And yeah, just as a designer, he has always been a confident designer. I definitely believe he's an icon in the fashion world. Yeah.
Okay, so in your opinion, who are the 5 most talented designers in Sri Lanka?
So for that, firstly I need to start off with my personal boss, Radhika Perera Hernandez. I know I may sound a little biased in saying that, but in all honesty, unbiasedly, she's truly one of the most talented designers we have locally, in my opinion. I say so because her designs are so versatile. The same piece can be worn in multiple different ways, and if you know her story a little bit, it's about she's someone who has come from a non-fashion background as well, and stepped into fashion without any degree, and she's built a successful brand internationally, which is amazing, and I think that speaks for her talent in itself. And she has also actually designed for big name celebrities internationally, which is, I think, speaks volumes to her talent. So she's the first person, I would say. Secondly, someone who always catches my eye on the runway is Dimuthu Sahabandhu. I love his designs because there's so much of intricate handwork in his designs, and you can see the amount of work and patience that has gone into creating his designs. I also love how he's so explorative with his silhouettes. You know, it goes out of the standard that you see in the runway and out of the comfort zone that most designers tend to go into. Then of course in Batik, Sonali Dharmavardhana and Dashi Kirtisena are on top. It's amazing to see our local crafts and artisans being, used and taken to another level. And finally, I would say Miss Indiapa. I think her designs are so beautiful when it comes to bridal wear as well as occasion wear. Yeah. It's so classy and elegant, and yeah, she's my fifth pick.
Alright, so if you hadn't become a designer, which path would you choose?
Since my career path anyway steered initially towards psychology and sociology, I would say definitely I would have gone into corporate psychology if not for design. And probably somewhere in the area of human resources, because I'm someone who cares a lot about helping people deal with their issues and coping. I care about fairness in the workplace, so I think I would have gone in that area if not for design. Yeah.
Alright, so what are the changes you would like to see in this fashion industry?
For me, it would definitely be about seeing more originality and less imitation. I think that's something as a designer that's really frustrating, and I've seen that happen even to my own boss, for instance, or like a lot of designers that I know locally, especially in the local market. I know it happens at an international level where you see people copy other people's designs. But especially at a local level, I think it's very frustrating because you're all catering to a very small market. So I would say that is something I think people need to stop doing, and I think it's kind of disrespecting the art in itself and the creativity of designers. And I think our Sri Lankans are so talented, so I feel like if we all stick to doing what we know and trying to be unique, we will go really far.
So how has the current situation affected the designers?
So definitely it has been a very difficult situation. Not only have prices doubled or tripled, there's also been a shortage of fabric. So even as a designer, yes, you want to be creative, but you also want to find a range of fabrics to work with, but the range is so limited at the moment. And also I would say, I mean, of course, even just accessing the places that we will go to, whether it's Pamunua or Peta, just with the fuel situation in itself, it's so difficult to access. And it's really sad to see, I mean, there's so many small business owners, especially in those areas, who are, you know, dependent on their income through their little shops. So many have closed down when you access Pamunua Peta at the moment. So it's just a sad situation and a difficult situation for designers all in all, or anyone in the fashion industry for that matter.
Okay, so my last question for you is, what is your message to the young people out there who's willing to become a designer?
Do you want to?
No, you can.
So firstly, I would say definitely it's one of the most amazing feelings, seeing something that you have visioned and drawn turn into a reality and come to life. So it's an awesome, amazing feeling to also see that. I think I said that twice over. Sorry, can we go there again? Yeah, sorry, I'm just going to start again. So firstly, I would say it's an amazing feeling to see your 2D drawings and your vision come into reality. It's really nice when you see that something that you have created and put so much work into being appreciated for one, and also that whatever piece that you have designed, that it's making someone else feel good about themselves, someone else feel confident and feel beautiful. So it's a really fulfilling career path to be in. And also, I think fashion is all about being passionate and also putting in a lot of hard work, which most often young designers don't realize that there's actually a lot of work that goes into it. So if you're willing to do the work and you're willing to continue to be passionate about what you're doing, I think you will go far. So just go for it. And finally, I would say it's one of those areas, one of those career pathways where you are able to freely express yourself, and you're able to continue to discover yourself as you keep designing. So I would say it's an amazing area to get into. Go for it. Yeah.
Alright, thank you so much for your time.